Welcome to Club Conversations, where we interview a new Toastmaster each month. Today we'll be talking with Jerry Lawson. Welcome, Jerry.
Thank you, Jeff.
So, Jerry, you've been a member of Toastmasters some years ago. You joined, and then you recently, in the last year or so, rejoined. Tell us a little bit about that journey, how that transpired.
In 2009, I first joined Toastmasters, and this was a reaction to an unfortunate speaking experience that I had, where I had to get up in front of my church and talk about church finances. And I sweated that experience. I was very apprehensive about that opportunity, and I got through it. I survived it, but that's about it. It was a very painful experience, and shortly thereafter, the company I worked for brought Toastmasters in. We had a monthly training session, and they talked about the sorts of skills that would have made that speaking experience within the church a much more pleasant experience. So I decided to give Toastmasters a try. And I did that in 2009 for a couple years, and then my interest level dipped a bit, and my job responsibilities increased, so I left Toastmasters. And then in retirement, I was looking for to stay socially connected to people. And Toastmasters was interesting for me back in those days. And so I thought, well, I'll give it another try. And that's how I ended up in Toastmasters, and basically to have some place to go in retirement.
Awesome. Now, you're originally from the Chicago area, or?
I was born in Ohio. I was born in Middletown, Ohio. But my family moved to Chicago in the mid-1950s. I went to school there till I was in about the 4th or 5th grade. And we moved back to Ohio, and I spent the balance of my school years in Middletown. Then one of my first jobs was in Chicago again, so I went back to Chicago. My wife and I lived there 10 years. And then in the mid-1980s, after we started our family, we moved back to Ohio for another job opportunity.
So you are a graduate of Middletown High School?
I am. Yeah.
And then what is their mascot?
It's called the Mitty. It looks like a little guy with a crew haircut and a muscle shirt on.
Awesome. And where did you go to college, or did you do?
Yes, I went to Miami University, and I got a degree in sociology. I had considered maybe doing some social work, but once I got into it, I got into business rather than social work. And then I went back to Xavier. They had a continuing adult part-time student division, and I took a lot of business courses there. So.
Awesome, great. Now, you mentioned your wife. You also have 2 daughters, I believe?
I have 2 daughters. My oldest daughter, Maggie, is 39 years old. She just moved back here to this area she lived in California for about 15 years. And then my youngest daughter is a carpenter in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, very nice. What kind of hobbies do you enjoy other than speaking?
Right, I've gotten really engaged in Tai Chi, which is like it's not really it's more of a meditative sort of thing with some very low impact aerobics attached to it. So I've actually joined a couple groups, and I'm doing that. And then I still like to go to the gym and run. And I've also expanded on now. I'm on the stationary bike a couple days a week, and I'm taking a spinning course.
Ooh, okay.
So those are the things that I like to do in my spare time. And also I like to read a lot too.
I've done the spinning classes. They're very hard. So good luck with that. Your professional life, I know you were in the steel industry. That was your major career. That you're now retired. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I began my steel career in the mid-1970s for a company in suburban Chicago. And I was an inside salesperson, which is like a customer service person. Then I transitioned to an assistant sales manager. Then I left them, and we relocated to a company in Dayton, Ohio, where I became an outside sales rep. And then I joined another company called Chicago Tube and Iron, once again the Chicago theme. And I became a resident salesman in Ohio. So essentially my office was my home. And it was a great experience because you're your own boss, and you essentially run your territory, and you're responsible for the profit and loss. So it was, the last part of my career was probably the portion that I enjoyed the most.
What would you say in your professional life would be the 3 most important skills that you used on a daily basis in your sales job?
I think I tell anybody new or maybe even people who've been in the workforce for a while, one of the key skills you have to have is you have to be able to compartmentalize. One of the hardest things about navigating a career in business is getting along with people. You have great days and you have some days that are just another disaster. I think the people that survive and thrive, you have to be able to shut the door on that very unpleasant day and come back the next day. It's a clean slate. And I also think you have to have some integrity. You have to understand that the entire time you're in the workforce, you're building your brand, and you have to be known for that integrity.
Okay.
And also, I think you have to constantly try to keep a positive attitude because it's easy to get worn down and get your feelings hurt. But you have to be able to tell yourself that, at the end of this day, something good's going to happen and tomorrow's going to be even better. And those are the things that I think, those are like survival skills.
Okay, great. Compartmentalize, integrity, and positive attitude. Great. Let's transition to Toastmasters. You're now a member of Anthem Express and also Talk Toastmasters in Milford. When you originally joined in 2009, were you a member? Which club were you a member of in Middletown?
No, I was in Springboro, Ohio.
Springboro, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
it's called Coffee Talk Toastmasters.
Coffee Talk.
Yeah.
That's like a old Saturday Night Live skit.
Well, the lady that started the club, she actually owned a restaurant, and they serve coffee and donuts. And that's how we got the Coffee Talk.
I think we should have coffee and donuts at each of our meetings. You're an officer with Anthem Express?
Yes, I'm
Club officer, or you
VP of membership.
VP of membership. And under your direction, I think the club has definitely picked up some members here recently. So
Well, it's been a great time here at Anthem Express.
Pathways. Pathways is the educational component of Toastmasters. It's not all about speaking. There's also some leadership skills that we can practice through these pathway educational tracks. Where are you on that journey?
Well, I completed a level. I'm moving into the second level, and I'm in presentation mastery. So I'm planning another project. Right now, all of my energy is devoted to the speech contest. So I'm a compulsive preparer. So I've been working on my speech for the contest, and I got a couple round robin evaluations. So I'm trying to work in some of the tips that they gave me. So I'm in a revision phase, I guess.
Okay, great. And this is a speech contest, the international speech contest, and you're competing at the area level. So that's great. Any final thoughts, advice that you would give new Toastmasters?
Just that, fear of public speaking is one of the top fears for most people. And if you're able to come to Toastmasters and get some degree of skill at that and desensitize yourself to the prospect of giving a speech, it has ways of, it bleeds over to other areas of your life. Like I'm like many people in Toastmasters, I'm hardwired as an introvert, but it's helped me. It's helped me to be more at ease around people. And I didn't realize that would be a byproduct of learning how to deliver a presentation, but it's been a really positive thing for me. So I just tell people that there will be benefits to it if you stick to it in areas of your life that you never anticipated you would.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Jerry.
You're welcome.